Hi, welcome back to another Bourbon Santa video. Today we're going to do something really interesting. Well, at least really interesting to me. I found these two bottles of Blanton's, two very different liquor stores. They were both dumped on 6/8 of this year. So these bourbons should be exactly the same age. Both dumped and bottled on the same day. They were both stored in Warehouse H, of course, on rick number 20. Now, a rick in a rick house is just the shelf that the barrels rest on. It's usually made out of heavy wood dunnage, and it's just, they call it a rick. It's a shelf, whatever. They were both on rick 20, and these two happen to be neighbor barrels. One is barrel 216, this one, and this one's barrel 219. So there were two barrels in between these two in the rick house for the entire time that they were maturing, and then they were dumped and filled into bottles on the same day. So these two were aged for the exact same amount of time. They're the exact same distillate. They were distilled on the same day, I'm sure. They were identical in every way except two different barrels. They were within 4 feet of each other, 4 or 5 feet of each other. So temperature-wise, they lived through, on the same rick, they lived through the exact same temperature changes as each other. There should be no variation between these two bourbons other than the barrels. Now, the barrels could be from completely different trees. They could be completely different, even suppliers, possibly. I don't know that. But they're obviously two very different barrels. It's going to be interesting to see if we can detect any noticeable difference between these two bottles of Blanton's. To me, this is just science. This is what whiskey tasting is about to me, is learning new things, seeing what's happening in the glass, what happened in the maturation period. And these two are as close to each other as I think I'm ever going to find. And so this is a comparison that I've only ever dreamed about. And now I get to do it. So, without any more ado, let's nose them, compare the noses on the two, see if I can detect any difference between the two. And then we'll go to the palate and see if we have any differences there. So, 216, I marked them on the glass so I don't get confused. 216 first. Oh, this is a gorgeous nose. Vanilla, cherry, light oak, very sweet oak. Get a little hint of rye in the background. This is mash bill 2, so they're higher rye mash bill. There's almost no difference between their mash bills. A couple percentage points of rye. I'm almost getting almost a cherry cola note behind the cherry. Let's see if 219 is the same. There is a difference. It's very small. It's very small, but there is a difference. This one is slightly sweeter on the nose, giving me that cherry cola-esque kind of note. And this one's giving me less of that. The sweet oak is about the same. The cherry is nearly the same, but that little cherry cola note is here, but not here. That's interesting. There's a difference. It's minor. It's very minute, but there's a discernible difference. Let's taste them. That's nice. That's nice. As most of you know from a previous video, I compared 2 other bottles of Blantons that weren't twins. They were they were barreled on the same day, a year apart. So completely different distillate, and they weren't in the same spot in the rick house. They were in a totally different spot. So there was a huge difference between those 2 bottles of Blantons. The one from 2019, I didn't love. This one I loved. I still love it. I'm getting all the caramels, the brown sugar, the nice, all the nice cherry flavors, everything, a little hint of rye. Okay, let's go to this guy. Okay. Well, that's weird. That's weird. The cherry cola note shows up on the nose here, but not in the taste. But here, the cherry cola note showing up on the taste. Wow. That's fascinating. I think I like this one better. I think I like this one better on the palate and this one better on the nose. I think so. I think I like this one better on the palate, this one better on the nose. If we could merge those 2. If we could merge those 2, as if we can't. Okay, I get the cherry cola note on the nose. All the dark, rich aspects that both have on the nose are all there. These guys are twin bourbons, so there's, of course, nothing fighting each other in this glass. Now we have cherry cola on the nose and that cherry cola note on the taste with a little rye afterburn. Just a little touch of rye afterburn in the chest. A little rye snuggle. This is a fascinating experiment. I didn't expect much of a difference. I expected them to be very similar, and they're actually even more similar than I thought they would be. A very small hint of a different note between the 2. That's fascinating. 2 completely different barrels, could be staves from different trees, went into these, and there's a discernible difference between 2 bottles of Blantons that aged within 5 feet of each other in the warehouse for the exact same amount of time. I love whiskey. I love trying whiskey. I love tasting whiskey. I love introducing new whiskeys to new people. I love the experimentation of it, the tasting, the reaching, the growing, the hunting of a new bottle, the tasting of something new that was just released, the tasting of something that's dusty that you've never had before. I've tasted whiskeys, scotches that were distilled before I was born. I've tasted new make. That's what I love about whiskey, is trying new stuff, exploring and seeing what's out there. I love it. I hope you love it too. Until next time, thank you for watching and have a great day.